2023 is coming to an end. We have seen a bunch of new Pokemon TCG sets released this year with some amazing artworks in them. We have seen the end of the Sword and Shield era and the birth of the Scarlet and Violet era. But what are the top 10 most expensive cards that the Pokemon TCG has released in 2023? Well, join me in this video as we find out. Now, for the sake of consistency, I will not be including promos for stores or events, as they weren't readily accessible to the general public or released in packs. I will also be using TCG Player for the prices, but some of these promos actually demand a hefty price, with some stamped promos demanding a much higher price than their non-stamped variants. Like the Pokemon Center ETB promos, for example. The Snorlax stamped promo goes for considerably more than the non-stamped version. Some other Pokemon Center or store promos can also hold their value very well, like the Pokemon Center Squirtle card or the 151 GameStop Charmander promo. Now, both of these cards are just stamped versions of their common cards in the 151 set, but they go for a considerably much higher price. But it's not just the store promos that rocket up in price. The promo for the Van Gogh collection of Pikachu in grey felt hat is one of the most expensive cards released in 2023, but its shambolic release helped contribute to its high price. A combination of the Pokemon Center website crashing under the sheer amount of people trying to grab a promo, and the Pokemon Company allowing people to hoard promos with each order made this whole release a mess, and I know a lot of people were left disappointed with this. And hopefully Pokemon can learn from this in the future. But if you did grab a Pikachu promo, it is worth a pretty penny now. Worth a whopping $147.27 as the market price. And if you was lucky enough to participate at Worlds or take part in the side event at the Worlds this year, you could have gotten a Paradise Resort promo. Now, Worlds normally always has a promo each year, but this year it seems to be almost triple the price. The sale for the English card Raw ranges from $400 to $500, just Raw, and these are based off eBay because there aren't any active sales on TCG Player at the moment. But that's enough with expensive promos. Let's talk about the 10 most expensive cards that you could pull from packs in 2023. At number 10 we have the beautiful Venusaur EX Special Illustration Rare from the very nostalgic Pokemon 151 set. It's no surprise to see one of the OG starter Pokemon in this list, and this card is very pretty to look at. The artwork is fantastic. I love the sword just chilling in the flowers, and the market price for this card is $40.90. In number 9 we have another of the Kanto starters, this time it's Blastoise, illustrated by the GOAT of Pokemon illustrators Michihiro Arita. The artwork for this card is a massive throwback to the original Dark Blastoise card from the original Team Rocket set. With the Blastoise in the murky waters, this really drives home the 151 nostalgia. The market price for this card is $41.99. In number 8 we have the Iron Valiant EX Special Illustration Rare from Paradox Rift. The artwork for a lot of the illustration rares in the Scarlet and Violet era is amazing, and I love the simplicity of this one. With all the future Paradox Mons in the background, this is a really nice card. The market price for this card is $49.27. At number 7 we have one of the Golden Galarian Gallery cards, it's Arceus V-Star. The god of all Pokemon and one of the final cards to come out of the Sword and Shield era, this and all the other gold cards in Crown Zenith were big hits with the fans. With all their artworks lining up to make a bigger image, it's easy to see why these were so loved. All of the gold cards in Crown Zenith are illustrated by Akira Igawa, and she makes these cards look fantastic. The market price for Arceus V-Star is $52.41. At number 6, it's a surprise to nobody that a Charizard makes this list. And this one is a special illustration rare from Obsidian Flames. This is again illustrated by Akira Igawa. This Zard was the chase card for most people in yet another meh third set in a new generation. This was actually a card I pulled from one of my Christmas presents, so that was a nice surprise. But if I had a nickel for every time Charizard is a chase card in a really bad third set of a generation, I would have 2 nickels. The market price for this card is $52.86. Coming in at number 5, we have a rather surprising entry in Magikarp. This Carp was released in our Paldea Evolved expansion and is illustrated by Shinji Kanda, who only seems to be growing in popularity with each card they release. It's nice to actually see a Pokemon that's not one of the usual suspects break into the top 10 of this list. This card will set you back $55.16. At number 4 we have another of the Crown Zenith Galarian Gold cards. This time it's the king of the Distortion world, Giratina V-Star. The Devil Incarnate in its origin form is the most expensive card in the Crown Zenith set, and it's easy to see why. Akira Igawa really did a great job on these gold cards. Although every time I see Giratina now, I just get flashbacks to the fight against Volo. This card has a market price of $70.81. And we're into the top 3 most expensive cards of 2023 now. And in third place is the Roaring Moon EX Special Illustration Rare. Similar to the Iron Valiant Illustration Rare earlier in this list, this is the Scarlet Paradox Pokemon this time in the background, and it's a really nice card and is really playable in the TCG, which helps boost its price even more. Its market price is $78.35. In second place we have the only trainer card in this list. It's another card from Paldea Evolved. It's the Iono Special Illustration Rare. On the artwork for the card, Iono is in the middle of filming her latest YouTube video, and I have to say that all the Pokemon food on this card look delicious. It reminds me of the stuff you see from the Pokemon Cafe in Japan, and man, I want to go to that place so badly. Now, I'm kind of surprised this is the only trainer card to make the top 10 this year, especially with how trainer cards have boomed in price in the last few months. I blame a certain cult for that. The market price for this card is a very tasty $85.87. And in at number 1, the most expensive Pokemon TCG card of 2023 is, drumroll please, Charizard EX Special Illustration Rare. Like we honestly expected anything else. This Charizard is the final Kanto starter from Pokemon 151 to make this list. Pokemon 151 was a really huge set and it really tugged at our nostalgia and heartstrings. Now, although this Charizard has no neck, it really is a beautiful card, and I think it comes to no surprise to anyone that a Charizard is the most expensive card of 2023. This card has a market price of $115.47. The first and only card in this list to break the $100 mark, which just goes to show how affordable singles are to buy in the Scarlet and Violet era. 2023 has been a really good year for Pokemon TCG collectors, and the artwork on the cards has been as good as it has ever been. The prices for this year haven't hit the highs of previous years, but I personally think that is a good thing. Here's hoping for another year of fantastic artwork and good pull rates for the new sets to come. Paldean Fates is the next big set out at the end of January, and I cannot wait for that. If you've enjoyed this video, smack that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more Pokemon content. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.